Podcast, WATP.
Let me just remind you what this looked like. This is a view of the live show, the backyard stage there, and a couple chairs set up, a picnic table. This is what the people who went to see this comedy show were presented with.
Typical comedy club.
Yeah,
classic
sure.
image. Yeah.
Yep. And so the brick wall and everything. It's like Evening at the Improv in 1989.
Look at that. That's comedy.
And John comes up and starts off. Now, he has to give his credits, but there's self-deprecation, and you'll hear the audience is with him. When John starts this stand-up show, the audience wants to like him. And we've talked about this before. When you go to see a show, people want to have a good time. They want to think they made a good decision for their entertainment that night. They're hoping to enjoy it. They're not like assholes like us going to see Joe Matarese. They're actually people who are just like, all right, I'll give this person a chance. Let's see what's going on. And you can hear it here. People are enjoying it.
He also has a leg up above everyone. And this is why comics are a little bitter about people like John, because they have to just be funny. When they're like, here's Steve Smith, they have to sell this. John gets name recognition, used to have facial recognition, and credits so that they're already excited. When somebody's in some small town like that and they go from Howard Stern and The Tonight Show and, oh, okay, they're ready. You have them. So you have built up goodwill that other people don't get. Let's see what he does with it.
All right, thank you, Sarah Silverman. Is this a cup holder? Yeah. Beautiful. It is now. All right, I'm Danish, so how about everybody give me a big skål? Skål! Skål! Yes. I went from the Howard Stern Show for 15 years to be the announcer and staff writer on The Tonight Show for 10 years.
1 year.
And now I'm performing in some shithole backyard. And I want to say that my career has gone badly, but the other night I was in an Uber and I was driving.
Okay. So far, I've heard a lot of comics do this. How's my crew doing? I'm in a strip mall in Rochester, New York. Oh, yeah. It always gets a pop. It always works. The I was driving Uber joke, I've told the story before. When we went and saw Florentine, we were talking to him before the show. He decided to do that joke, and it actually got a really good reaction. He's just like, I didn't write that. He felt bad immediately doing it. But it works. That was good. And he's got the people there going, all right. They're giving him the benefit of the doubt. He's doing a new thing. He's trying to make Skål a thing. He thinks that, like, the podcast, that works. People can't wait for the Skål. So throughout the set, he's trying to get this going. And in the first one, people are like, Skål, all right, yeah, he's Danish, right.
It's also a rare moment of self-deprecation. He doesn't normally do that, but I'm this big guy, and now I'm doing this. Okay, there's truth in that. So it's the reality we're all living in. It's a little funny. Yep.
So far, so good. And then it kind of starts to fall off the rails here.
Anyway, I am divorced. Please don't tape me, honey. Oh, okay. I'm married. A lot of married people here.
No, you're not.
Yeah. My condolences.
Wow. I'm divorced. Sees a camera out. No, don't tape me. Anyway, I'm married. Oh, you've lost everyone immediately. Like, wait, what? Wait, what is he? What are we? What's the thing that we're thinking happened here?
Skål!
So he's already losing people. He's already lost the thread of what he's trying to do. And so he does, some of the stuff that we've heard him do before. Yeah. And just the laughs are getting fewer and fewer. And then he gets to that chunk that we already played on the show where he's saying that he made his pregnant wife make them desserts.
The book chunk.
Yeah, and do the dishes and all that kind of stuff. And he's just getting fewer and fewer responses to the point where he has to tell people,
oh, fuck off.
Because there's groaning going on. No one thinks it's funny. So I'm going to pick up from after that chunk.
Okay.
And John's talking about how hard it is to get laid when you have kids. And if John could just modernize his act a little bit, he doesn't think to himself like, oh, no one can relate to this.
Yeah. And it's always hard having sex with your wife when, like when you got 3 kids all kind of running around, It's hard to get in the mood when you hear from the other room, SpongeBob SquarePants. So one time so my wife took the kids shopping. I'm like, all right, a little alone time for Daddy. So I go, all right. So I order a little porn on DirecTV, which, by the way, is $19.99 or whatever. Which, come on, I'm usually done by the credits, you know. So I order the porn, and then I finish, I turn it off, I forget about it. So my wife takes the kids, and they're all gonna watch Toy Story 3. She turns the TV on, up comes the porn time. Then my kid comes up to me, Daddy, what's an anal whore? I said, it's certainly not your mom. If she were, you wouldn't be here. And
He tried to help that one along. He tried to do. Am I right, guys? Huh? So he ordered porn on DirecTV.
Let's break this down.
Can you just say you pulled up the tablet and you pulled up porn on your iPad, and then your mom, the wife comes home? And
I donated the iPad.
That's right. I forgot. You donated the iPad. My bad. Why is he talking about ordering porn from DirecTV?
Is it possible that he hasn't really been around his kids while technology has advanced? So
Yes.
he doesn't have these experiences of sharing an iPad with the kids or sharing a laptop. That's
Right.
the only... So he doesn't even know how to refer to that. He wouldn't know how to modernize it because he doesn't have any context for it. That's
Porn is
really
free,
weird.
too. Like, get rid of that whole 1999 thing. No one can relate to that. Stupid.
Right.
Unless you're in a hotel. I mean, even then, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's not a thing. You know what I mean? Like, no one's doing that. It's so stupid. And then the SpongeBob SquarePants no one laughed at because that was a show that was popular in the 90s. Early aughts, maybe? Is that... I mean, it's still popular, but not with, like, children, right?
Oh, it's cool with me.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's just like...
That's why he's got to order the porn so that joke can stay in there and still be
Right.
chronologically correct. He also has no sense of this voice that's delivering these jokes. He's acting like he sounds like Richie Rich or some smooth talking
Yeah.
dad who has it together. When he says honey, it just sounds evil. It just sounds dark. When he says that thing about like, that's why I didn't anal. If your mom was more of an, it just sounds like this mean,
Yeah.
character yelling at his kid saying, "I wished you were never born." So it's hard to laugh at. You sound so angry and unhappy.
Yeah, he's sinister. And also, when you said the word voice, I had this thought where when you see Jimmy Schubert, who's been doing stand-up for decades, and I've seen him a few times, he's a very funny guy. He can't talk about like dating life now because you're watching a guy in his 60s do a stand-up routine. He got away with that in his 30s, of course. John's trying to do this family man raising young children thing, and the guy looks like he's a great-grandfather. And you're like, well, you got to update your set now to be relatable to what we think that is actually going on in your life. If he was talking about like how, yeah, I was at home with 2 cats alone for this past week without any interaction aside from super chats, people like, yeah, that sounds about right. It makes sense. Well, actually, that is a good transition because now he starts talking about the haters.
This is the good part. I like this part.
This part's amazing. John can't help himself. Everything with him is the dabble verse. So he has to bring this up to this audience of people who had no idea John was going to be there. Except for the one person who recorded it, obviously. But everyone else is just there unassuming.
just gonna end with a few more things. I'm only here to do.
But the other thing, too, and I wanted to point this out while we were playing that clip, the silence is deafening.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like we could literally hear crickets. I'm not joking.
Just gonna end with a few more things. I'm only here to do a few bits. Give it up for fucking Ricky fucking Mountain, please, everybody, because
What a pro. Remember when we started this show and I'm like, it's fucking Adam fucking Bush, everyone. Let's give it up for him. It's so unprofessional in every way.
everybody, because I was doing a charity gig for the Police Athletic League to fund underprivileged children so they could play Little League sports.
It sounds like it was your idea, the way he's describing it.
I
Wow.
think he invented sports.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I have a lot of haters because I'm so freaking talented. And they're so jelly that they
That right there is so funny because people have just watched 9.5 minutes of his act. I'm starting to hate you though. So
Yeah, maybe it's because you showed your kid porn and then said you wish they'd never been born. And
I'm related to these haters. Where are they hanging out?
I'm so glad you pointed it out at the beginning that he had everyone's goodwill. You don't get to say this was a dead audience on a dead night. You had them and single-handedly convinced all of them, some of them individually, to hate you. And then you end the act with, a lot of people hate me. John, we wouldn't know that unless you kept fucking talking about it and really showing us all the reasons why they do. An audience didn't laugh at your joke and you told her to fuck off. But they laughed at. That was very funny. And now you're explaining to us why you're hated. No one in that room listening to you talk believes they hate you because they're jelly.
That they got me canceled, called the mayor, they said, And Ricky, being the good guy that he is, called me and said, hey, John, come do my show. I'll pay you just because I feel bad. These guys are freaking bullying you. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be here in St. Petersburg. Come on, everybody, scale!
Let's go.
Wow. That was a weird diatribe to go off on. Mm-hmm. Just so you guys know, this guy did me a huge favor because people are calling the mayor and stuff like that. I was just trying to do a good thing for children.
I have a feeling a bunch of those people, I don't know how many people are in the crowd, 12?
12 or so, yeah. Called the mayor?
Six of them have just entered the Dabbleverse to figure out why everyone hates his guts.
I got a lot of haters. Could you imagine? I've seen countless stand-up comics. I can't imagine someone going up there like, so anyway, guys, a lot of people on the internet hate my guts. Let me tell you about that. I'd be like, what? What do you mean? That's weird.
It's just so insane that he assumes everyone is going to look at him, hear his voice, hear him say, I got a lot of haters, and be like, I'm so sorry, man.
Dude, you don't deserve that, really?
You really?
Come on.
God, buddy,
That
I'm so
sucks.
sorry. Can we give you some money?
Life is so unfair. Yeah. All right, so now he gets into Howard Stern talk. And what's great about this segment of his act is not just the name dropping, which is fantastic, but also telling jokes that he didn't write.
Thank you. So let me just, little bit, and I'm going to go. How much time have I done, Rick?
Too much.
10, all right. So I am Stuttering John. So if you don't know me, I was pretty much a professional asshole. I would ask celebrities crazy questions.
No, I'm a volunteer.
Yeah.
For instance, I asked the Dalai Lama.
Holy shit. Yeah, we got that part, John. We understood that part. We were doing the Living in the Past episode yesterday. It's on our Patreon, patreon.com/whootherspodcast, bonus show, where he's so proud of this Dalai Lama. He talked about it on the episode in 2018, too. And this is the first example he brings up when he's talking about how he would ask celebrities hilarious questions.
For instance, I asked the Dalai Lama, do people come up to him and say, hello, Dolly?
Okay.
I asked Raquel Welch, are they drooping yet? And then she fucking punched me in the nose. I asked O.J. Simpson if he would sign my knife. True, but apparently he already had his own.
Okay. I asked O.J. Simpson if he would sign my knife. That's true. But apparently he already had his own. What does that have to do with signing your knife? Like, if you go up to a baseball player, you're like, will you sign my baseball? And they're like, no, I already have a baseball. Like, no, I'm going to keep this baseball. I just want your signature on it.
I said,
The fuck? John doesn't even understand how any of this works. It's so stupid. Okay?
Why doesn't he think delivery has anything to do with how a joke is told? He thinks the way he says it has no influence on whether people laugh or not. But the jokes that exist, yeah.
I talked to Raquel Welch.
The Dalai Lama.
Drop!
Yeah.
A lot of name drops in there, which is also uncomfortable. So this is the biggest laugh of John's set coming up right here.
I asked, Lou Reed if he still masturbated, and he strangled me. And judging by his grip, He fucking does.
That's in his book, by the way. It's not a great joke.
But my favorite response I ever got was from the late, great Joan Rivers, who was a friend of mine. I said, Joan, do you think ugly people should be allowed to have children? She said, no, and I told your mother that. It is. She was brilliant.
Someone said that's funny.
But,
Yeah. Multiple people were just like, holy shit, that's actually really funny.
They were
that's
caught
funny,
by
yeah.
surprise
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, Joan Rivers was actually very funny. Yeah, and off the cuff, too. Wow, yeah. I wish Joan Rivers was here. Yeah, me too. She's actually really funny. Biggest laugh he got the entire night was talking about what Joan Rivers said to him. You guys probably are thinking, like, all right, well, John's bad at comedy, but at least he's not gross.
you know, people always ask me,
That's funny.
you know, John, how did this whole stuttering thing get started? Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Look at the light. God bless me. So,
Do you hear the people in the crowd going, oh, oh?
Yeah.
We've all seen John sneeze on camera before in his house. We know what this looks like. It's not pleasant, but he's not done there.
yeah, I don't want to get that shit all over my hands. Fuck that.
So right
So
there,
where
we
did-
just found out he did not cover his mouth or nose. He's just letting it spray. I don't want to get it on my hands.
So where did it go? What did you get it on?
Can you please block it from hitting arm?
I imagine some dude in the front row going, that is some cheap blow.
So, why do I stutter? Oh, I feel another one coming on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That dog is making me allergic. It ain't the dog. It's the fucking sweater. Is that a cardigan? But anyway,
Oh, no.
Wow.
It's so disgusting. Imagine being at the show and watching this guy spray out of his face while he's doing it. All right. Well, this is why John stutters. Here's a new story. I don't know if we've heard this story before. It might be a new one.
so they asked me why the hell, why'd you start stuttering? I think there's another stutterer here, right? Hey, there you go, brother. Stutter on, bro. Stutter on. Fuck. I was called everything. Stutter face, skip, MC stammer, and the creme de la creme stuttering prick. It's pretty harsh words you hear from your parents. But anyway, I'll leave with this joke, because I'm a professional, and I just got the light. School!
All right, a couple of things going on here. First off, and that was my parents who said that, went over horribly because it's not clever.
Oh.
Everyone's made that joke before. And John's like, a little misdirection, huh? You're not Anthony Jeselnik. We all saw that coming. So that doesn't work. He's still trying to do that kind of thing in his act. He's still trying to make Skull a thing. He's like, all right, I got one more joke. Skulls. Everyone's going to be like, Skull! One more joke. And the other point that I want to make, and I think I heard someone on Uncle Rico point this out, but it should be repeated, that John goes, I got one more joke because I'm a professional, and they just showed me the light. I've seen a lot of comics. None of them acknowledge the light.
Nope.
They see it. I see that they see it. And then they start going into whatever their wrap-up is to end the show. But they don't let the audience know. They're like, I've just been told I have one more joke to tell. Which one should it be? Let me think. Okay.
It's like he wants a cookie.
Yeah, wow, you are a pro, John. They shined a light at you, and that's when you knew that you should stop talking?
The entire premise, the entire setup is such bullshit. No one ever came up to you, John, and said, so why?
Why
What's the deal with all this stuttering?
People
No
ask
one-
me all the time, why do
all
I
the time.
stutter?
Why do you... Yeah, I know you stutter, but why? That's not a thing that people say. What they do say is, why aren't you stuttering?
Yes, we hear that a lot.
Where
It's
did
like,
it go?
It's like woke dad. People ask me all the time how I deal with this adversity. Like, no one asks you that. That's ridiculous. All right, the final joke. It's not the squeegee bit. Let's see what he goes out on.
So anyway, people always ask me, John, why'd you start stuttering? And I always tell them it's This is a true story. I had a horrible experience when I was younger.
That's funny.
I went outside with no underwear and a pair of slacks. And I got my penis caught in my zipper.
All right. Let's stop right there. He goes outside, no underwear and a pair of slacks, and then he gets his penis caught in a zipper. Outside.
Right.
Why did he say the go outside part?
I don't know.
Because that's not where you'd get your penis caught if you just went outside.
Right. So you're pulling your pants on as you're outside. Otherwise, your penis is already in the pants.
And my mom had to ice my penis and rip it out of the zipper. Do you know how traumatic that is for a 21-year-old? Thank you. You've been great.
It was like he knows he stole it from that Ben Stiller movie.
Yes.
But if he puts it in the bathroom where it belongs, they'll know that. So he had to put it outside because that's his contribution to
It
the
has
joke.
nothing to do with Franks and Beans. I promise you that. This is just a penis and ice, and my mom was involved. That's all you need to know about this. I want to play the rest of this because it's so sad.
Keep it going for John Melendez.
Keep it going.
Let him hear
Go.
it. That was great. Oh my gosh, you guys having fun? Are we cold? Are we frozen? All right, are you ready for some more comedy? Yeah. All right.
More? You've given us too much already. I mean, come on. I only paid $40 for this thing. Jeez. Spoiling us at this point.
You know, I finally heard, I realized I'd never heard it. I finally heard the episode of the Howard Stern show where Howard says to John that he should abort his kid. The thing
Yeah, they
that,
played it on Uncle Rico the other night.
Yeah, and it was really interesting because I'd never heard it, and I've heard so many episodes of the show where Howard says things to him that are so personal and so cutting and so mean. Like he looks him in the eye, he says, "Look at me, hear me. You're not funny. Don't tell jokes. The joke is on you." And John's instinct was, oh, he's kidding. This is all a joke. And then I heard when he told him to abort his kid.
Yeah.
And it is so clearly a bit. They're playing the like men who are, at the bachelor party telling you to stop. He doesn't just say you should abort your kid. He says, if you kill your wife right now, you'll be out in 20 years.
Right, yeah. It's a joke.
And they're both jokes. They're jokes. It's so clearly a joke, but that's the thing that John says he was serious about. It's very strange because like Opie, they're both unlearning things. In that same episode, he makes a reference to Hero of the Stupid, and he goes, I was really Hero of the Stupid back then because he did something stupid. So he admits he knows Hero of the Stupid was not because he's the hero of the working man. He was the hero because he's stupid. He knew these things. He's just lying obsessively and trying to paint these people as evil and himself as a victim, and he actually knows better.
Yes, he is definitely lying to fit the current narrative, just like Opie is. So if Opie could talk about how Anthony's a racist, he's getting all these people against me, and that's why they think I suck. And if John can go on there and go, well, the reason why I've been falling out with Howard is he told me to abort my child. Can you believe that? My precious child is in his 30s now or whatever. But, that's how you get the sympathy card.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, these people are the assholes. Like
they hear dead kid and they're just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Whatever it is, I'm so
right,
sorry.
Yes.
Somebody posted on Dabblers today this great old radio interview with him, and it has all the same shit we've heard a million times, except he does say, he's talking about his job, and he goes, look, I was making $40,000 a year, and if you're not happy at a place where you're making $40,000 a year, you leave. That's it. You can't blame anyone else. That's your fault if you don't do that.
Who said that? John?
John said it.
Wow.
And then unlearned it years later, and now uses that as a weapon, pretending he's stupider than he even is. It's wild.
Yeah, that is a moment of clarity because I've been saying that forever. If you want to make your way in the radio business, you have to jump around to different markets and stations and build your way up. Like he was an intern on the Howard Stern show, and they thought someday I'll be Howard Stern. Not how that works.
Nope.
Not in most industries, especially radio.
And it's crazy to hear how every place he worked was toxic. Every place he's
Isn't
ever
that crazy?
been, including the Dabbleverse. And just like Opie
right.
never once says, maybe I'm contributing to the problem.
Right. The other thought that I had was I was listening to this stand-up routine that he's doing, especially how he starts off by saying I was on the Howard Stern show and the Tonight Show and I was the announcer. And now here I am. And he's in this backyard where he's not even the headliner. He's just on a guest spot because the guy felt bad for him and said, I'll throw you a few bucks if you come up and do 10 minutes. This is a scene from a dramatic movie. And ironically, Nicolas Cage could play this drunk who's fallen on hard times and lost it all. It doesn't end well. It's not a movie where he redeems himself at the end. He just becomes a raging alcoholic and loses it all, and it just gets sadder and sadder and sadder. So I know Nick Cage is looking for work. I know he's trying to make as many movies as possible.
Oh,
Throw it out there. Yes, let's go.
And he'd be great because that's the one-man show I want to see. I want him to just talk about the haters. Don't worry about jokes. They'll be there. You don't have to worry about them. I want to hear him talk about this stuff in his voice and try and get audiences' sympathy and see if it works. See how people respond to this. Why is he telling people all that? Is it because he thinks they're going to search his name on the internet and see it and he needs to get ahead of it somehow?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
Because why would you even bring it up? I mean,
I think it's the only thing he thinks about. I think he's all consumed with the Dabbleverse now. It's the only thing that's going on in his head.
Yeah, but he knows this audience doesn't know his ex-girlfriend. You should not talk about her.
Right.
Like, they only know you were dumped because you said something about it. Why are you letting us know? You're in a new city. Pretend it doesn't exist. Focus on something else.
Right.
Who are these podcasts? WA